So I want Uma because Uma hasn't been on in a while. Please let us know what new you have going on your side. What is good?
Hi guys. Yeah, I've been sick. I was taken out by that stomach bug that was going around. But new, the dating apps that I am a part of, they've just been doing a lot of changes this whole year. So I'm actually beginning to leave the dating apps and go back more into mainstream. So I'm back on my YouTube channel, back on my IG, back on my Facebook and my TikTok, and I'm just kind of like leaving those apps alone for now. So yeah, just a lot of changes. Excited, see what God brings. And I've been invited to be a part of a couple of shows, so I'm very excited for that too. Thank you.
Oh, I love to hear it. I love to hear it. We got to give Uma a round of applause for that one. And because she is going to officially be on YouTube. So we
Facts.
got to get YouTube, we got to get her audience up. So everyone do me a favor and make sure you go and subscribe to Uma B. Follow everything she got going on, as well as everyone else on the panel. I do want, because I know a lot of you women have some special stuff going on. So I am going to go around and introduce Noni one more time to the panel. She is back with us. You know what I'm saying? She is back with us. What up?
Going on? I am the Love Bar, aka also known as your sexologist, from Queens of New York, but live in North Carolina. I'm an international author and international speaker. I have 2 books that are coming out within the next 90 days. So I'm super excited about that. And I will be getting back into podcasting. And I'm also a bedroom candy consultant. So, I sell them things, to make you look pretty. We sell makeup too. Just so you know, we sell makeup too. But, we sell them things, to make you intimate, have them intimate moments with yourself and your partner.
Yo, go get your bedroom candy. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. Let's do it. Let's do it. God damn it. I can't get these claps all night, man. It'll sound crazy. Listen, Sydney, what you got going on? Please tell
What's
me
up,
you have
y'all?
this studio opening up soon so we could go live.
I know I'm still working on it. I'm on the final steps of it. I mean, literally like changing out the locks, sweeping up the floors, and I will be done. So by the end of August, I will be in the space. I'll be reporting live from the space on the podcast. So RTL Citadel is coming soon. So stay tuned.
Right. That's what I love it. I love it. And we got Just Justified. Just Justified got some new joints on that channel, and I'm loving it. Love to see it. What's up, Just? Talk to us.
Yeah, just doing what I do. But I mean, just definitely come support it. I'm trying to do as much as mental health awareness topics as possible. So even if it's something that's mainstream, I try to bring the mental health awareness to it. So check it out.
All right. All right. Boom. We gotta check her out. Kit. What is good? Because I know you got more than them edibles incredibles cooking in your kitchen. So what is good?
What it do, everybody? Yes, the edibles are always incredible and they are popping. But more importantly, some really big news. So if you are local to my area, we are doing what we're calling a Bets and Blunts bus trip. It is a trip from Charlotte, is where the bus leaves from, going up to Cherokee starting September 7th. A lot of people don't know this, but adult use cannabis will be open to everyone as of September 7th. So basically, it just means you won't need a medical card. And so on the 15th, we're going up. We're going to have food. We're going to go tour the facility. It's a 10,000 square foot facility, so it's massive. So if you know anything about facilities and what they normally look like, this is a big undertaking. So we're going to do that. We're going to then take the ride over to the casino. People might, feel a, itchy feeling in their palms, might say, big money, no whammies. Then we will head back down here to Charlotte. And those who want to join us for evening dinner, we will have dinner at the drop-off location. And that is it. So that is actually going to be again September 15th. I'm actually going to post the link in the comments as well. And I'm gonna actually post it in the private chat for you, Mingo, so you can post it on the
Definitely.
So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like, you know, Dion's not on, but I sent her the pictures and she was like, oh, you know, so it's gonna be a good time. We got shot o'clock built in. Like it's gonna be a time.
Right. I know anything Kit do is gonna be a good time. So make sure y'all get yourself involved, get yourself active. We gotta make sure Kit is a millionaire by the end of the year. So we're gonna make this happen.
Yes.
Boom Box. What up? What up? What up?
Hello. Hey everybody.
Yo, Boombox channel is getting lit over there. I'm loving it, yo. I was over there in the comment section yesterday, like, yo, don't make me put my hat on. What's good though?
Oh, nothing much. Just, you know, trying to grow. That's it. Y'all check out Intellect Ignited. It's definitely a vibe. We've been focusing more on just different relationship dynamics and incorporating children into that as well. So that's mostly what we discuss.
Loving it, loving it, loving it. And we got to Uma B. So we spoke to Tia. Let's get to Ash. Ash is going to be a staple on this channel. Remember her face because she is coming back and back and back. And I have some special news towards the end of the show that we're working on together. So Ash, do me a favor and what you got going on? Introduce yourself.
I'm Ashley. Pretty much, I'm just focused on my career and my business right now. I love that everyone's got a podcast. Like, I don't know, I've been talking, I'm like, maybe one day I'm gonna get in there, but like, I'm really just vibing right now. I love the energy that your show brings. I appreciate you that you keep having me on. I'm just here for the ride, guys.
We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna get you in it too. We're gonna start your channel. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm gonna give y'all ladies a round of applause. Hold up, that was a half clap. That sounded crazy. My bad. I didn't mean that. This is what I meant to do. All right. So we got a good show for y'all tonight. But before I start the show, let's get a little housekeeping out the way. Please do me a favor and make sure that everyone keeps the chat clean. Make sure there's no disrespectful, comments in the chat. Mods, please do me a favor and handle it. Also, stay active in the chat. Make sure that you are commenting. If you have questions for the ladies, super chats will be read to all the ladies and you can address them all. And later on in the show, I will drop the link for someone to come up and ask a question to the panelists. I only got room for one person. So we're going to do it big tonight, y'all. Anyways, let's get on with the show. And like Matt said, my God, Matt said 13 likes. We need to get these likes up. Let's get some more people up in this building. What is good with y'all? Hit the like button. Share the content. What are y'all doing tonight? So let's get this going. Y'all ladies, y'all ready?
Yes.
Y'all ready for the show? Let's get this going.
A partner will subconsciously sabotage the relationship because they think they don't deserve you. So while you might think that's cute at first, I want you to know that that man sees your light and he is going to try to dim it so the rest of the world can't see it too. To an insecure person, everything you do, everything you have, and everything you achieve can be a threat to their ego. So they will find ways to try to humble you. Why do you think it is that women who earn more than their partner get cheated on more often? Because you threaten his masculinity when he feels that he can't match you or he can't provide what you deserve. So he'll cheat down with a weaker woman or a woman that's not really on your level so that he can feel like a man. So if there's one thing I've learned, if you sniff out insecurity, or especially if he says you're too good for him, you run.
All right. How do y'all feel about that bullshit? Talk to me, ladies. What's good?
So people always talk about red flags and insecurities, but we got to remember our central nervous system remembers things. So that person may have not done anything to you, the person you're talking to may not have done anything to you, but someone else did. So your system will remember that automatically. Like, so you're not projecting. Now, it's a different story when someone actually does something to you and you are looking at those things. But we tend to focus so much on red that we forget about the green and all the good stuff. But we can tell when something is wrong, both male and female. If something isn't right, you know, people always talk about the cheating side, but never talk about it has nothing to do with cheating. Maybe something's going on with you and you don't want to really communicate. But our central nervous system can tell when something doesn't seem right because it happened somewhere before. So we project that on individuals.
Okay. All right. Who wanna follow that? That was a lot. That was a tough pill to swallow. What's up, ladies? Okay, don't all jump out at me at the same
You're on
time.
mute. He was talking, but it was muted.
Oh, you muted, kid?
I was over here trying to figure out how to connect my headphones so I could talk to you people. Yes, I wasn't talking. I was talking to my headphones.
There's so much to unpack.
I know. It was a lot.
Listen. Why, Lord? His insecurities. What I got to do with me? What that got to do with? Why must I stop my shine every day, God? Why must I stop my shine for these insecure men? This is my question. This is where I'm at with this. Correct.
Oh, you know I'm gonna get you, but I'm gonna let the panel. I'm gonna let the panel do what it do.
Let's go, because I have, listen, as a female, we all have insecurities. I have my own insecurities, but the day I blame a man for my insecurities, you know what? I'm gonna just get me a cat and just give up, because like, how do we do that? How do we go around this world blaming other people for stuff that we need to work on within ourselves? I talk about this all the time because I'm a healer and we have to take accountability for what we are. There are insecure men. I did like that part that she brought it up, that there are insecure men, because a lot of men out here don't like to act like they're insecure. They like to put the blame on us. But for her to join in on that and kind of be like, well, you're the fault why he's insecure, you know, I'm like, I'm kind of curious. Is she single? I'm feeling like she's single. Is she single?
I don't know.
But you got women who aren't single that feel that way too. So
right. No, but I'm just picking on her. You know, I'm just picking on her because that was so ludicrous in my mind.
Well, I think that a lot of cases where the guy will place those insecurities on the woman and then she becomes insecure and unsure of herself. Not necessarily, you know, that she started out that way in the relationship, but maybe she became insecure because of, you know, who she's dating or whatever.
I'm going to shine no matter what. And if a man comes into my life and he wants to be a part of my life, he has to understand that I'm not going to dim my light to make him feel comfortable. He knew what he was signing up for when he came into the relationship. And if anything, he should have the understanding and the intelligence to know it's only going to go up from here. If you know anything about my personality, it always goes up. It doesn't go down. So within the first 3 months of dating me, he should realize, like, this is going to go up. So he should excuse himself.
There's an echo.
Yeah, I hear echo. Somebody, there's some type of feedback going on. Somebody's playing something in the background, YouTube in the background. So it sounds like it's double playing. But okay, Uma, I'm not even mad at you with that one. That was actually really good. I'm with you. I'm with you with half of that. So, Ash, what you think about this? Ash,
so here are my thoughts, because Uma, you spit bars for sure. And I think it's a personality thing. So, like, for sure, from what I'm hearing from you, ain't no man gonna come in and dim your shine, right? It's not every female ain't built like that. And especially if you're with somebody over time, it's easy for someone to just pull out that little tiny string of insecurity and unravel you completely. So it's like personality thing for sure. Like, some people just not built like that, you know? And especially if they're picking on something that you've been working on, like saying if you had a traumatic experience in the past or your parents picked at you for something and then you share this with your partner and then that's what they use. Like that's your weak spot and they're already stabbing you where you already wounded at. So it's easy to get broken down. So that's like my thought process. Like if you're strong and it's not an insecurity that's too big for you, ain't nobody gonna knock you off your pedestal. But if you already wounded and you already got some weak spots, it's easy for someone to come in. It don't even gotta be an intimate partner. Your boss can like tear you down if they know some intimate stuff about you. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Tia, what's up? Tia's new to the panel. I need you to jump in on this.
It's so much to unpack because I had my well experience. And what I noticed with my experience is that I had to hold myself accountable of the people that I choose. But I also didn't know that articulating what you want instead of assuming, because they always say that men cannot read your mind. I'm also a vibrant person like Uma. I have it, but I keep choosing the people that need that nurturing. Naturally, I'm a nurturing woman, but I seem to fall into the potential. So I had to hold myself accountable for that. And once I noticed that, I'm just like, you know what? Now I'm a Uma. I'm just like, can't nobody dim my light. So when people notice me at that time and this time, they just like, who is she? No, this is what I always wanted to be. Now I know what it is. I'm aware of it. And it's just mind blowing to me that it's so many men that's out there like that. You have to be honest and continue to have the conversation if they want to talk to you. So when you have like Uma said earlier, you know, dating apps and stuff like that, and me too. I'm like, I want to meet someone in a traditional way when I'm actively doing something, and that's biblical. You know, like the woman is working and he noticed you. So now it's like I'm closed in because I'm healing. You know, I'm in the process of really knowing who I am and not letting no one distract me. So when I go out to the grocery store and I put my threads on, because I get dressed and people notice me and I notice the bull crap, besides looking at your shoes first, because I'm from New York, then I look in your mouth. I love going to the dentist, and then I realize what you say, what comes out your mouth. And someone really be faking the funk. I'm like, you really touched me. But I'm not on that level anymore where I'm like, I'm going to sit and wait because I'm getting older. So there's no more potential. I got a few P's. Potential, partially. I'm not dealing with it. I want permanent. I want, I want to be pressed, put some pressure on it. So that's where I'm at with it. It's so much more, but it's just, I've been on both sides. So I'm happy on this side where I'm like more confident than ever. Yeah. For now, I'll say that.
I have a side question for everybody on the panel here. What, in your opinion, is worse? The men that do this to women, or the women like that woman who's blaming the women for doing what they naturally do and then making men feel that kind of way?
The men that do this to women, but at the same time, her standpoint on it, blaming the woman, I can kind of see it too, because like you all said, I'm not about to let no one dim my light. So you have to always be your best motivator, even within your own home sometimes. Because, you could be with a guy for a while, right? And then, let's say something happens where things change for him, and then he comes with insecurities because he hasn't been on that certain status for a while. And he sees you're still thriving, but of course you're there to hold up the home until he gets himself together. His insecurities can wear you down too, after even being with him for a while.
So
I'm sorry. Can I respond to that in a friendship way? Because everybody always talks about the romantic way with somebody dimming your light and bringing your insecurities out. You have friends who are jealous of you and want to do the same thing. So the same thing she was talking about, the insecurity. So you can be at a certain level and you think someone is your best friend. You think that's your ride or die person. Y'all did these things, and then come to find out that person is extremely jealous because your light is actually shining brighter than yours, and you're not in competition with them. You just like, I'm here, I'm doing this,
I'm doing me.
Who takes responsibility? You have to take responsibility. Like we said, if we're taking the responsibility in the romantic side, we need to take the responsibility in the friendship side at the same time. Because those intimate relationships actually can break you. Something that Ash said too. She was like, even if your boss knows something personal about you, they'll sit back and they'll unwind or whatever the case may be. And it may not even be something big personal. It could be the slightest little thing on how you work or whatever. But we need to truly watch that too with our circles around us, because that tends to hurt more, a lot more, because those breakups, when you do have that with them friends, hurt because you're like, why? So that's looking at it that in a non-romantic side of it, but also taking accountability that you allowed that person to bring to try to dim your lights, and you still being strong on it.
So can I
What's
share?
up, Jess?
So I agree with you about whatever relationship, as in to say romantic or friendship. I feel whatever relationship you encounter, whether platonic or not, you have to worry about being unequally yoked. Being unequally yoked goes across the board. And if you're unequally yoked, there are going to be toxic people who can trigger you as much as possible. Now, with the triggers though, and this is one thing I say on my channel, the triggers, you have to kind of learn how to deal with the triggers, because the triggers, that means there's something in you that is unhealed, that needs attention, that needs work. So if we are continuing ignoring these triggers and blaming it, like projecting it on someone else, then that's where the problem lies. You have to look at yourself and see that that trigger, whatever that is an insecurity in yourself that is getting to you, that is making, is revving you up. Because there are people who purposely will try to trigger you. And especially even worse if they know about whatever that is that you may be fighting or insecure about or whatever, and they use that as ammo. And then so it's up to you to do whatever work you need to work on it and get that under control. So even if they throw the darts at you, it's not getting anywhere. So you have to kind of work on it on yourself when it comes to your triggers, because there are a lot of toxic, unhealed people out there as well. So you keep your healing journey up.
Okay.
I will say this though, because I didn't chime in because I wanted to kind of like meld over a little bit, but it's an individualistic thing. We like to say, oh, it's women's fault, it's men's fault. You know, self-esteem is the esteem of oneself. You know, it's not a whole, you know, me, Uma, all of us have to feel the same way and have the same energy behind the same thing, and then we get blamed the same way, right? We really have to start looking at it in a place where it's like, okay, kind of like what Jess was saying, if this is triggering me and this is messing with how I feel, because you know your insecurities mess with your self-esteem, mess with how you start to deal with things, because then it winds up becoming, because y'all know I'm definitely more logical, but then now it becomes emotional, right? And then when you're making emotional, you know, decisions under emotional duress, it changes the trajectory of everything, and it can have, you know, ramifications that people don't even think about and see. So what are we not doing when we're having these issues as far as looking at our own place in space and when these triggers are actually happening? I don't agree with her blaming women. I would say that, you know, those particular women or people, right, you have to be more introspective. You have to look in and say, why is this still bothering me? Like you were saying, Jess, like, why is this still something that I give that much air to, right? Because if you don't feed a fire, you know what I'm saying, it eventually snuffs out. So what is it that, you know, is in me that is keeping this alive that I haven't yet dealt with, that anybody could trigger you, you know? And that's why we have to work on all of those things. And I think everyone has something like that that kind of keeps them, you know, to some degree at bay of something, whether it's some kind of opportunity that they've been wanting to do, but they haven't like leaped and jumped and taken it, like, you know, whatever, you know, esteem and insecurity issues, even with stuff like that, like just on personal things. So definitely have to be willing to do the work to break those down so that, you know, you can get past and get over.
And the crazy part, just to add real quick to what Kit just said, the crazy part is,
Jess, you there?
did I pause? Okay. So
I don't know
we're
what
so
happened.
used to
I thought it was my internet. I said, wait a minute.
No, it was me. We're so used to aiming outwards when we experience triggers, and that's one thing that we have to learn. People are so quick to, like, you know, raise their hand or something, attack somebody, whatever. So it's actually work for self, that, and we don't understand that that conquers a whole lot of what we encounter.
Okay.
But how are you
Sydney.
responding when it? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, because Cindy didn't get a chance. Cindy didn't get a chance to
I'm
respond.
sorry, sis.
I wanted to get her little input. What up? What up?
So I'm kind of like Kit. I was really mulling it over because I was really thinking about what the lady said in juxtaposition to what we're talking about. And I think for me, what I gather from what she was saying was, you know, at some point somebody is intentionally doing things to you to hurt you. So I think it's one thing for something to trigger you, and yes, that is self-work, but there's another thing to where it's when is it time to walk away because somebody is doing something to you to not just dim your light, but to literally harm you because of where you are. You know, if I'm in a relationship with somebody, friendship, family, or otherwise, don't look at me, look at what you got going on. Like, focus on your grind, your hustle, so that we can both get to where we need to go. You know, you don't need to be looking over here. Like, we can discuss about what we're working on, but in terms of like worrying about me and counting my pockets and saying, well, you know, you're above me, you're dimming my light, I can't be in any space with anybody who's like that. So, you know, working on your triggers, I think that is a big deal, and you have to do that. But you also got to know when it's time to walk away, because people will literally do anything that they can to pull the carpet from under you, and you don't want to be in a space with somebody like that.
Right. Because what are we doing if we both got to be down when one is down?
Yeah.
Because even there are people that you can avoid sometimes while you're being triggered. Like, let's say it's a boss. Because remember, you know, we kind of broadened it to a lot of different interactions and relationships. So if it's like your boss, you can't avoid that person that is triggering you on a daily basis. Yeah, you can find another job. But until then, are you going to jeopardize, you know, your workspace, your environment and all that stuff in the meantime? You have to learn to be like, listen, they can say whatever they want to say. I'm going to do what I got to do and get that, what needs to be done.
Right.
So,
people,
go ahead, Donna. You was going to say something?
No, I just was saying that was a really great perspective of how she put that. It's the truth. We forget about the inner work, but you the first thing, like they say, you know how people be like, oh, I gotta move, this isn't working, and they pack up and move somewhere else, and the same thing is happening. They don't tend to look at self. The key thing is self before you can look at anybody else. That's why I say you got to be into you first. Key thing is self. We forget about that. Self. You can move, you can get another job, but like Jess said, if you don't take care of you, you're gonna keep blaming everybody else.
We're also at a space where we finally got like where, you know, seeking help, you know, seeking mental help and seeking counseling is actually an acceptable thing. We come from a lineage of women who basically, you know, everything was dealt with in-house. Everything was, you know, oh, well, we don't put our business out there for other people to know. People are still dealing with traumas behind that kind of energy and thought process. So when you have that, it makes it, you know, a completely different ball game when you're dealing with even other people, because you still haven't even dealt with things like that happen, you know, in certain circumstances in your life. So definitely, you know, when they say take care of yourself, that's the big thing that we need to really start doing, like that whole, you know, outside of this introspection, like really speaking to someone that can help us break down the barriers and the walls that we put up because we thought it was protection, but all it really has done is kept us on the outside of where we should be.
So let me
like
put this. let me put this perspective out there real quick, because a lot of y'all are talking and it sounds very kumbaya-ish, and I'm all with that, right? You know, we can't all go crazy on the panels, and everyone has to try to find something within. Yes, kid. Yes, kid. So what I wanted to say and what I wanted to ask, right? Along the lines of what the lady said in the video, she basically, I didn't get from what she said what that was, you know, her blaming the woman. What I got what she said was women build themselves up and the man is insecure about it. So he would do things like cheat on you or dim your light because of, you know, your situation. What I see from the male perspective, a lot of women get into these relationships with these men and they may make more money than the man. But have y'all ever asked yourselves, how are you treating that man? A lot of men, because women on average, I ain't even gonna let y'all correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm right. A lot of women on average, you guys make more money than the man, not saying that's something that's normal, but on average, when a woman does, usually talks down to that man. They usually make the man feel less than. That brings out an insecurity in the man that you guys don't realize. So when you're on the panel or when you're talking like, well, I'm not gonna let you dim my shine, his insecurities may have been something that was built up because of how you're responding to him.
But that's where we actually talk about the self-work as well.
Right.
It's not only for the woman to do the self-work, it's for him to do the self-work as well.
I mean, we should be kind. We should be kind to one another. Yeah, we should be kind to one another.
We should be.
We're not.
Here's the thing. Regardless of how much a woman makes, it's all about how she actually respects that man. Because there's several women that make more than a man that actually go out of their way for that man, regardless of the fact that he makes less. It has more to do with how she sees him as an individual and not so much, you know, oh, I'm gonna talk down on you. Like no woman who is actually in a relationship that she is trying to love and cultivate is going to do the whole, oh well, I make more than you and I do this, that, and the third, because that's emasculating her man, and no woman wants to be with a man that she feels is emasculated, that she can control, because then now the power dynamic is shifted in that regard, and then now she no longer respects him in that way. So that doesn't even make sense.
Okay, question. With that being said, though, right, with everything you just said, why do women feel the need to emasculate a man that she is making more money than? It usually happens because the power dynamic switch.
But you heard what I just said.
About the man, he's not carrying himself as a man. I don't care how much the dude makes, right? But if he's carrying himself as a man, if I have something to respect, I'm not going to disrespect this man. It has nothing to do with the.
What does as a man mean? What does as a man mean? Help me understand. But before you reply, before you reply, I do want to hear your reply. I just want to read this super chat. We got a $5 super chat from my guy, Professor. He is in the building tonight. My guy, Professor, says, Uma, what up? He says, I'm still telling women how high to jump, joke. GMT, shout out to a panel of beautiful women, no matter how, what's that, ASCII? Whatever, I don't know. How
askew.
They're askew. Oh, yeah, I'm a little slow. How askew their views are. There we go. Thank you, Uma. So,
GMT.
What does as a man mean? Yes.
But GMT. JK is just kidding. I just didn't want you to be out here saying joke, looking crazy, because I love you, and I never want my brother.
I don't know. JK could mean joke too, right? I don't know. I'm old.
No, but it definitely mean just kidding. About this. And I love you. That's all I want to say. It's definitely just kidding. And
Okay. I guess the context around it matters. So, Ash, hold on. What does "as a man" mean? Help me understand.
Okay, I'm gonna try to break this down as great as I can from experience, right? So I try to date people who make more than me, but I've had experiences like younger men who dated people who made less, and there's been great people who conducted themselves as a man. Like there's no reason for me to ever disrespect them, but there's some type of man, and I'm trying to paint a picture so y'all don't eat me up. All right.
Yeah, I got my paintbrush out.
Like, I don't want to say he's too needy. Like I'm trying to choose the right words, but they're almost too comfortable. It's like they're cool with you being the provider, and they're not trying to achieve higher. Like I don't have gas for my car. Like small little things, like things that they should never be comfortable with asking a woman with, like in the dating phase. Like this is not even a relationship. Like we talking about
let me
dating
ask you.
phase.
So Ash, what happens with that man? Do you break up with that man almost immediately?
I stopped talking.
I don't think you should have.
I stopped talking to him. Now there have like younger me. I've probably given maybe 3 months to someone who was trying to get back on their feet. But off rip, if I haven't known you long and you needing favors already, I can't respect a man like that, because why are you comfortable? Now if it was a relationship, like we've been locked in for some time, or that's my husband or whatever, ask me for whatever because we're a team. But we're just dating. You ask me for something. As a man, I cannot respect that type of man, because now I feel you've given me power, right? And I'm not gonna go too far. Say women should never have power.
I get what you're
saying.
I get it.
I agree with you, Ash. I agree.
No need. What's up?
With that, I have a question.
I don't get what she's saying, and I got a rebuttal for that.
I get it, but it's
go ahead.
I get it. My question is this: why is it that it's always if a man does X, Y, and Z, but it's okay for if I'm dating a woman or I'm talking to a woman, she can ask me for money for her hair and nails. I'm just trying to play both sides.
I agree.
So we sit back and be like, nah, that boy, and he needs to give me this money, and my hair costs, my nails cost, and he can't take me to the Cheesecake Factory.
But then that type of female has to reciprocate that energy. I'm not coming to the table with my hands out. So like
you're not, but I'm saying that
she's just saying
we tend to say men always come out like that. We always say men always do that, right? But there are a lot of women. I'm not talking about the women. I'm saying there are a lot of women that's like, well, I don't have no gas money. Can you buy my kids some food? And we just talking. So the same thing you said, the dude is asking you for some gas money. She quick to be like, yo, can you you can't take me out unless you taking me to a 5-star restaurant. I'm just saying.
Then he gotta get going.
It gotta be
in a lot of cases though. In a lot of cases, a guy that starts out that way. I mean, of course you can identify the female that's using you. Right. Because those are the things that she will ask for. But in a lot of cases, when the guy is coming at you, asking you, starting out for things, like he's using you. He's using the female. And there are females out here that are willing to be used, just like there's a guy that's out here willing to be used because...
Oh, baby. Woo, I could chime in. The only reason I'm not going to just crack the whole sky open is because my friend might watch the damn podcast. But when I tell you, I legit be wanting to reach out and touch each one of these individual women that be doing stuff for him. And I know there's no equal level of reciprocation as far as how it goes. I literally be wanting to say, you're messing it up for the rest of us. What are you doing? I be wanting to, I swear. And oh, girl, boom, box, child,
There's always gonna be pick-me-shas. There's always gonna be pick-me-shas, and
we just talked about pick-me's the other day, girl. Don't do that. Don't say the pick-me word. Oh, child.
We
don't
can't
do
hear
it.
you. I think you're on mute, Cindy. We can't hear
It's not showing she's on mute, but
she ain't on mute. It's just delayed. But baby, don't say that. Don't. Oh Lord,
I wish I was here for that conversation, but I was sick. I really wanted to be here for that conversation. I have
Girl,
a personal vendetta against Pikmishas. I do.
oh Lord, girl, no Uma, no beat, no boo boo, no boo boo. Oh Lord, we was
man.
here for
Listen.
that conversation was interessante.
But I want to
So-
say something. I want to
Go
say
ahead, Uma.
something as the healer in the group, right? Because that's what I am. I'm a CEO of a metaphysical wellness center all day, every day for 15 years. I've worked with predominantly women who come to me because they focus on this self-care, right? And we, as Nani said, it starts with the self, and we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to take accountability. But could we address the elephant in the room? There are a lot of people doing fake stuff. They're just doing fake stuff. All right. They're doing it for the show. They're doing it for the gram. They're taking the classes and going to yoga and drinking chai tea, lattes, or whatever else. But they're evil on the inside. And these evil women are dating men and they're taking it out on men. But nobody wants to talk about it. That's why you will see a woman who makes a lot of money date a man who makes less money, and she will wild out
She
on
went down to him. Yeah, she wild
She
out
will
on him.
wild out on him, but in real life, she's all nice and prissy and, you know, this and that. And, oh, you guys are the best lovebirds ever. But she treats him like crap behind closed doors. So, yeah, I understand we're all talking about the fact that everybody got to focus on self, but I don't even think people really truly knows what that means.
Sometimes they're too focused on self.
Right.
I'm gonna
That
tell y'all,
part.
and I'm gonna tell y'all because you know, I don't care. I'm on YouTube. I'm gonna say this out loud. I dated a woman in the past, and she was a nurse. She had like clients outside of work. She was doing her thing. Right. I was broke. I was a struggling wannabe rapper. But was I insecure?
Not a dusty.
I wasn't dusty. But was I wasn't insecure about what I wasn't insecure about what I was doing though.
We gotta hear something.
Also, you was using her.
No, I wasn't asking her for nothing. I didn't
That
ask
was
her
the
for nothing.
agreement.
I'm trying to
That
tell
was
you,
the agreement.
I wasn't the fella with my hand out, right? Because that was never me. I never believed in asking a woman for something. I had what I needed, but you know, I just was like, okay, I'm interested in you. Let's see where it could go. She tried her best every day to make me feel bad about not making money. Oh, me being an idiot, I was younger, so I stayed with her, right? But every day it was like, you a broke nigga, you ain't got no money. Any argument she picked, she said that. But here's the thing, I come to realize I wasn't the only man going through that. A lot of men that's in relationships with women that make more money tend to talk down to them. And that happens all
But notice that before you say that, but notice that you said that, you know, she made money, but she picked you for a reason. And I think a lot of the times they'll pick men that they already know that they can emasculate. And I normally call that the big get back, right? Y'all have done me this way and y'all have done me dirty for all this time. And now I'm finally on top and I can do stuff. And now I can treat you and have you come in and I can treat you and do anything I want because I already know that you don't have a way to do anything to leave the situation. So you just have to deal with whatever it is that I'm doing. And because of that, now I can make myself feel better from all of the other past transgressions and people that have projected their BS on me. And now I'm in a position where I can actually do that and now get my big get back.
I believe
again,
women
it's not like she said they go and it's not like they said that they go and get like the prestigious.
You got Jessica's internet.
Oh no! Can you hear me now? Is it doing something?
I mean, we can hear you. Just keep freezing.
Don't come from my
internet. All this good light and this acting up. Don't do that. Hold on. But then that's what really happens, though. You know, like we
got to also address the fact that there's some people that should not be dating. There's women who just hate men because of things that have been done to them from previous men. And there are men on this panel, in this show, I've met men who just hate women. you know, low down, hate women, and
Me?
Not this
blaming,
panel.
not this panel,
Ooh.
this show.
Not this panel.
Out
Throwing
here
darts.
just be hating on women, and I'm like, good Lord, like what your mama do, what your
Throwing
grandmama
darts.
do, like why are you so mad, you know? So we just have to be aware of the fact that not everybody is like, to me, if you're in the dating world, you should have like kid gloves on. You should treat people very gently, because you don't know what people have been through or the lives that they have led. And we aren't seeing that. We are seeing a lot of rough and tough craziness out here. The way people even talk to each other is disgusting.
And then
Treat them
Kim said a
gently,
big
but
bar,
be.
too. She
Treat
said
them
that
But
gently,
how
but
long?
be.
I got a question. How long were you dating her, the girl, when you were
Probably for
a
like
rapper?
about, it's probably,
Be honest, because you look like you're about to lie.
thank you. No, it wasn't super long. It was like 6 months. It wasn't like, you know, we went into like years
Oh.
and you know, it was like 6 months.
Mingo, this is what I'm saying too about self-work. Because if you were in a place where you had the self-confidence for yourself and you will know that you shouldn't even be there.
That's a fact.
Well,
you know,
well, yeah, like
too
you
long.
wasn't ready.
But here's the
to
thing,
date
not
because
even about not just not being there. A lot of the times, again, remember he said, you know, he wasn't really working like that. So where's he
Right.
really
Yeah,
gonna
but
go unless he has family and things like that? So they
You gotta
wind
understand,
up
that would
stopping
be
them.
using them.
so
And not
a
saying that
non-working
that's
man,
you.
a non-working man, right? Our options are not, like I said before, they're not like y'all's. Y'all can literally walk outside and have 10 dudes holler at y'all. If they look, if most women on average looks at a man and say, yo, he's dusty, we don't have options like that. So the woman that picks us, that's the one who we choose to try to kind of cling on to. And, you know, usually when a man is non-productive, we hang on to what we could hang on to. When a man now turns the tide, right, and he starts making more money, he starts becoming more valuable in the world. That's when that man now says, you know what, I have my picking of the women now. So now I could choose. It is what it is.
So how long were you with her after she started to belittle you?
How long was it? Oh, my wife said,
Oh,
we were on a break. You
I
remember
remember
that
where
whole
one
one?
was, right?
I'm
Ain't
done.
lying. Well, say that again, Boombox.
I was just asking how long were you with her after she started to belittle you?
I
Like
probably
once she
stuck
started
around
attacking.
for extra 2 months because we didn't live in the same state either. You know, I lived in New York and she was in
So
she was
you
in
got
PA.
long distance disrespect.
I got long distance disrespect. You know what I'm saying?
And you stayed for 6 months?
I hopped in my car and drove to the disrespect.
Wow.
That's what happens when you are a non-productive man. You tend to take whatever you could get.
When you have when you have someone that has a level of authority that they can exert over you and a level of control, regardless if it's long distance or not, sometimes the control is more emotionally attached and more mentally attached than it has anything to do with the financial, because clearly she was able to take care of everything that she needed to take care of on her own financially. So he was just, you know, something to do, if you will, again, a pawn in the whole, well, you're going to do what I want you to do because I'm the pockets in this situation. And what are you going to do if I don't do X, Y, Z, you know? So, and it happens, and it happens a lot more than people know. Like it's atrocious.
Yeah, I don't even know how you stayed 2 extra months. I don't, especially long distance.
People who are under whatever, whether she was giving him money, whether she was just giving him
money.
I just said, like, whether she was giving you even if she was just giving you companionship, she might have just been giving you the clappers. I mean, you know, that happens too. People have driven a mighty distance for some clappers. Okay, and if they grab it,
but he could have got that around the corner, is what I'm saying.
But here's the thing: but he couldn't get it around the corner because he was a broke Dusty. You got to remember. You know, she was all he was already connected to the other one.
But she wasn't contributing.
Okay.
I mean, DMT.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second, Jazz. Sydney was about to say something. What's up, Sid?
No, I was gonna ask, like, what do you feel like kept you in the situation even after she was talking to you in a disrespectful way?
Well, from what I remember, right? Because I ain't in that situation at all no more. I am a provider male. Hold up. And I got to give all the provider males a round of applause.
Not on the woman show, you know. This
Now
is the
my
woman show. You
curious
saved that
soul.
for Sunday.
I'm watching Dion's comments, and I'm like, she said, I put him there. So now my curious
I
soul
love
is like, I
Dion.
want to hear this story. What's going on?
So what she said? I put what? Hold on. Let me put this comment out there. Yeah, he had to get that old thing back. There was nothing new. There was nothing in them streets, but I put him there. Yeah, she put me in the streets. She broke up with me, man. So where else I'm gonna go?
Go ahead,
Find
Dion.
something.
Go
You know
ahead.
what I'm saying? See, the
Trying to
thing
break
was,
up with you.
the thing was my wife's.
Something.
Shout out to my March Aries sis.
Shout
So
out to
my wife saw my potential, right? My wife saw that, like, listen, this guy got drive, he got tenacity, he's gonna make it to the next level, right?
But real
But
quick,
I wasn't asking you those questions to attack or anything like that.
No, I know.
Yeah, I was asking because we do stick around when we know we need to walk away. And so
what I can say, what would make a man stay? What would make a man? First of all, it definitely, like I said before, it depends. It depends on your position in life. Usually, even with women, it's the same thing as well. Your position in life is why you would stay with a dude that's not treating you right. But usually, when a woman ends up getting more in life or getting either a certain type of attention somewhere else that she wasn't getting before, or whatever the situation is, because she leveled up, she lost weight, she whatever. Usually, they tend to gain that spirit to say, "I'm out of here." Same thing with men. When we're not doing that well in life, we tend to say, "I'll take what I could get." And remember, we still don't have the options like y'all. Period. That's just how that goes.
But this is why I was saying, GMT, this is why I was saying why I said it's so important for mental health. Because that was when your self-worth was probably the lowest, because you were not reaching your highest potential. So you did not even think you probably deserved more than that. So that's why I said, when you work on you, like, even if you know that you're in the process of to have stayed and withstand that for so long, that toxicity, because she was toxic.
Right.
Yeah.
So for the whole point, that's why we have to, as a society, not thinking that, okay, because someone said it on the platform before that, oh, that happens all the time. That's the problem. It's like the toxicity lives in our society. That is like a norm, and we're not calling it out for what it is. When we're having our self-worth, we're leaning on all these things to make us feel better, even though it's doing more damage than good.
Yes.
Well,
you better take that clip and chop it up.
Yeah, it's not being addressed. Like, even with the person that's making you feel that type of way. Like, most cases, you're talking to like your friend, like, oh, he whatever today, instead of going directly, standing up for yourself and facing the issue with the direct source, and making them acknowledge what they're doing to you.
Yo, listen, when you have a person, when I hear you, Boombox, but when you have a person disrespectful, and they know they're being disrespectful, let me talk this out with you. If the level of disrespect, and women, y'all go through it too from certain type of men. And there's nothing you can tell that man. Yo, that's like telling somebody that is intentionally hitting you, stop hitting me. You gonna stop because I'm telling you to stop? You're just gonna keep doing it because that's what you.
If they're getting some kind of, like, it's feeding, is giving them supply. So if they're getting that supply, then it's they don't care. They don't care how they're caring about themselves and what it's supplementing for them. I'm feeling that power. I'm feeling that, whatever it is.
I have a question though, GMT. What was it about you that made you feel like you deserve that kind of energy to have stayed that long in the first place?
What is this, an intervention?
Sir, No, we're
It's
not
the
gonna do
male
that.
perspective.
You're the male perspective on the show, Mr.
I
I'm the
know, I
male on the
know, I
show.
know, I
So
know,
I'm
no.
asking. So even if you don't answer it from a personal space,
No,
right?
I got it. I
Just
can answer it.
as I'm wondering because like, what I know what goes through, some women's psyches because I know that women can have and maybe this happens for men too, where you're
All
literally
right.
looking at the mirror and you can't recognize who you see anymore. And you're so
So
far behind it, So I'm just wondering.
I would
so
say food and societal influence.
I got you, Jess. I got you. Let me offer the male perspective on this one. Why men and even myself, right? There is high insecurities in a lot of men, believe it or not. This topic is about insecurity today. A lot of men do hold them if we are not who we think we should be in life. It doesn't mean that we are where we are sometimes where we need to be, but we have the aspirations to want to be more. And the problem with a lot of men is when we feel as if we're not there, and then you're watching other men around you thrive, that feeling on the inside breaks you, especially if you're trying to get opportunities, you're trying to put yourself in different places in life, and you're getting no. I always say this, young men don't get trusted in the workplace for a reason, because young men are usually not as reliable, right? It usually takes a man when he hits his financial stride, it's starting usually around the age 35. So younger men feel insecure about themselves. They feel insecure about life. So it's so hard for us to break that. So when we're dealing with women, and if you don't have a woman that's building you, she could break you. And a lot of men get broken by women and then turn around and hurt women, right? Because it's like, well, guess what? Now I'm on top, so I'm gonna break you. Yes, Uma.
I'm sorry, but not sorry. I'm not feeling sorry for men. I'm not, because
no grace.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'll tell you why. Give me like 5 minutes because I got a long tirade about this. First of all, let's not talk about insecurities. The whole world is geared from a woman's birth to make her feel insecure in her body, in her intellect, in everything about her. Secondly, it has been proven culturally across many cultures, races, creeds, that the boy child is treated way better than the girl child. All right, let's stop for a second, because I have 2 brothers. They grew up like princes. Nothing they did was wrong. All right. They got spoiled. They got whatever to do. They could stay out late. They could get away with getting D's and F's or whatever on their papers. The pressure was always on me, the girl child. I was raised from a child to be a wife and a cook and a cleaner and this. And also you got to get a job and you also got to take care of them kids. The pressure's always been on me. But again, it just feels weird to me that men, I understand, I have empathy that you guys have insecurities, but come on, man, like y'all gonna take that from us too? You know, y'all gonna take that from us too?
Yeah, because we're human beings as well, Uma. I don't understand. Are we not supposed to feel? And then here's the thing.
Throughout history, you're human beings, but throughout history, you guys have always been given the leg up.
You're talking about the top 1%, not throughout history. Most men
in your household, in your household,
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Of your mother's
I was not.
You were not that. Your mom. You have sisters.
I have a sister, and she got treated better than me.
I don't know, because the majority of Caribbean households,
and I'm Trinidadian. I am Trinidadian.
Indian, Asian households, Caribbean households, it is the boy child.
Uma, let me address that real quick. Hold on, Jess. Let me address that.
I got
something
to say.
And then Sydney, you said, and then Sydney got something to say too.
Yeah,
So, the problem I realize with a lot of women is this, and it's not. I'm not saying you, Uma. I'm not just this. I'm not painting this on you, and I would never do that unless you want to wear the shoe. You guys would turn around and say, men are not like this. We're not sensitive. We're not like this. We need to feel more. We need to understand more. But then the moment a man tries to tell you he has feelings, he gets shot down.
There's a difference. There's a difference
There's
between
not a
your
difference.
personal feelings
I
and
have-
within a relationship, and then the whole class of men saying, "I got
I
insecurity
can't speak
issues."
for the whole class of men.
We're
But
talking
men
about
go through things as
generalization.
well. What? So no, we wasn't talking about generalization. Everybody asked about me, and then you made it general. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? To sit down and say that men don't, in general, should not have feelings, should
I
not,
didn't say
or,
that.
or,
I didn't say
or
that.
it shouldn't really matter because women
I didn't
should
say
trump
that.
it. Because what did you say then? I don't want to misquote you.
Right. I didn't say any of that. I'm saying that when we have men and women side by side, this has been historically, this has been the situation for women. We know about women's insecurities. If I come on this panel every day, I get called fat or something about my body, they body shame me. Men don't get that. It is proven historically across the board in every area about women being shamed and having
Chill
way more
calls men on
insecurities
this
to
panel
it.
dusties
All I'm saying is that we don't use our insecurities as an excuse as to why we didn't do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's just my opinion. It's my opinion.
Yeah, you do.
Can I throw this
Sydney-
in there? Because I want to throw a wrench in that real fast. When we talked about the woman who downs the man, and Kit was saying because that man won't leave. She said a lot of other things, but that one piece I want to hit on was the man won't leave her because she's insecure. Because typically that woman that's so mean to a man and chooses a man that's beneath her, had a man that was above her, hurt her, and now hurt people. So she chooses someone who's down and lesser than her because now she's insecure, getting left again. So now she's projecting. She's like, she can't love that man because she's already guarded because she's been hurt, right? But she's to him because that's all she can show. She can't show love more because last time she showed love got her burned. But he can't go nowhere now because I'm in control now. You can't go nowhere. That's why a lot of times when you see like really portrayed as great females, you're like, dang, why is she with this man? He don't do nothing. Like he ain't got nothing going for himself. They done been hurt, and at this point they just don't want to get left. But they're not healed enough to say, I just want you to stay. So then they gotta force you in the sand by saying you ain't got no money, you just a broke nigga, you gonna stay here regardless of where you gonna go. Don't nobody want you but me.
And that brings up insecurities.
Insecurities can play out as well.
So,
right, Sydney. Hold on 1 second,
yeah,
Jess.
That's
What you
gonna
was
say
saying?
something.
I think Sydney was first.
I was gonna say just want to go. She can't. I just want Uma to elaborate more on what her
Sound
point
kinda
was
weird. Is it
because
me?
for me, I didn't really. You can't hear me?
No, we hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear me?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say I want Uma to elaborate more to really drill home her point because for me, from what I'm hearing from you, you're talking about two different things, which is gender privilege versus insecurity. So I'm not really understanding where they correlate and the point that you were making. Because gender
My
privilege is,
point
when you
is
have a
that-
young male or a young female who have one is able to do one thing that the other can't do. How does that tie into insecurities that would then make somebody a narcissist to treat someone a certain way?
My point is this: if we have, say, in a household, a boy and a girl being raised by this household where the household is continuously favoring the son, so he was given all the tools growing up to be a secure person. He was given more love, in some cases more food, more attention, right? More opportunities. And I'm talking, like, again, a generalized statement, not specific to anybody. I'm talking about the fact that this is how it is in the world, right? So now he has been given everything. I think about specifically like boys I grew up with, where they've been given everything to be this secure, confident person. But then for whatever reason within themselves, their fail-safe mechanism kicked in or whatever, they didn't become what they wanted to become. They lost a job or they're out of work for 4 years or whatever the case may be. I understand that, like, everything, hard times hit everybody. But then when it turns around into like, I have all these insecurity issues, it's like a disconnect for me because I've seen women from different races, different cultures have to struggle, have to be ignored, have to be, given less than. And then they still find some type of way to hold down a job, take care of the kids, clean the house, cook the food, do everything. And it just sometimes feels like men make excuses a little much more than needed. That's what I was saying. I'm not trying to say I'm apathetic to your personal struggles or anything like that. Like, you're a person, you have your feelings and stuff like that. But in the grand scheme of things, do you feel like sometimes you may not have been giving 100% of what you could have given, and you may have dropped the ball yourself? Is there any accountability for that?
No, because just like I'm going to answer Jess. I'm sorry, Jess. I got you. Just because she asked the question. So we could break that down into how Sydney just asked the question, to where it's gender privilege. You could break that down into classism. You could also break a lot of that down into race, right? And on average, growing up as a young Black man, do you believe that young Black men have to work a little bit harder to get to where we need to go in life?
Me? You're asking me?
Yes, than our fair-skinned men.
I think people of color do, yes.
Right. So I'm talking about specifically about men, right? So if not saying that Black men are doing just fine today, right? But back in the day, we had a different struggle than most, right? So to say, did we have could make it just as far or try as hard? No. A lot of things in life brings men insecurities, which I was saying about the job. The job market is not fair to a young man. And then put that man and change his color to Black, and it's a little bit worse. This is back in the 90s, right? Now, do we have more opportunities? Yes, because I could turn on YouTube and make money. But before, that wasn't the case. I had to go and ask somebody and beg for a job. So being a man to have to deal with that is very rough in this world. We didn't make it in life like you thought we did. But go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, I'm just gonna piggyback off of you now, Mingo, because you said some of what I had to say. Because Uma, what you're saying, yes, it's not. I'm not invalidating what you're saying, but what you said invalidated how men feel as well. Because even though there are differences with upbringing and all that stuff in different houses, men still feel insecurity, and you cannot invalidate that just because you probably felt worse in your eyes. Everyone that is a subjective measure from everyone's family, from everyone's house, for every gender, from every class, as he just said, and all that. It's a subjective measure. But you're invalidating, like, if they don't feel insecurity at all. They do feel insecurity. And there's a great reason to feel insecurity, because if they're not reaching the societal measures, whatever the influences of society are, if they're not reaching it, they're going to feel just like how if we're not reaching our beauty standards, quote unquote, or whatever the situation is, we feel insecurity. We may feel insecurities from that. Same way men have a different measure than us, maybe, but they have their different measures where they feel their insecurities as well. So you cannot invalidate just because it's a different walk than you.
I don't think that she was invalidating. I think she was just pointing out, like, as far as growing up in the home, the boy is held to a certain standard than the girl in the home as they're being raised. And then when the boy goes out into the world, that is where he gets his insecurities from, because he's not really being taught properly, like, especially within our community. They're not being given many trades. They have to go to school and get trades, where usually young men need to have trades before they leave home, because then they will not have much insecurity when they step out into the world on their own, because they will.
Real quick.
I'll go after.
Okay, just real quick. And I get what you just said, Boo Box, but then also you have to remember there are different tasks required. There are different requirements from the different genders. If you're talking about that the boys are supposed to grow in to their manhood and be leaders and all that, of course they're gonna have a different strain of influence than women. And
well, we all have to grow into our own identity and leadership. But what I'm saying is, as far as the guys, the boys growing up are being more validated as you know, their
a
value
patriarchal
and status
society.
of man. Yeah. And like, oh,
In a
you're gonna come up and be the man
and that's
and
the
blah blah blah
realest
blah
of
blah.
it.
But then when you go out and you see that the world is
Thank you.
not as kind as mom. You get what I'm saying? Not as kind as mom to you. So what can you give? Yeah, that will create an insecurity. So both, to me, I'm saying both of y'all are right. You know, yes, there is a certain value in the guy when growing up. Because I watch a
Not
lot of
saying
TED
it's
Talks
fair.
and they all
Not
talk
saying
about
it's
that,
fair.
from Indian to African, like they
Right.
all complain about that. But
Right.
then when you go out into the world, you know, now you nobody.
But
You know
not
what I
saying
mean?
that it's
And
fair,
I'm
though.
gonna
But
give
we
you
live in a
that one, Uma.
patriarchal society, so it's not. It may not be fair, but
Right.
that's what the influences are of the society.
Right.
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 Boombox,
Yeah, but I just want to, I just
you
thank
hit
you,
that on the head.
Boombox, for that. I just want to reiterate, I am not invalidating your feelings. All right. I'm just looking at the bigger
My
picture.
feelings is hurt. My feelings is
Well,
hurt.
suck it up. You know, I'm looking at the big picture. I like to look at the big picture. And, you know, when you look across the world, you know, what Boombox said, this is the norm, is that boys tend to be better prepared for the world. So then when you hear like a grown man talking about insecurities, it is kind of like a little of a
No pun intended, right?
Yeah, it's like a sandpaper field to a woman who is just battling from the minute she comes out the womb. You know, it's like, gosh, could we have this one thing?
I don't see the battle. I don't see the battle. Listen, I don't see the battle like you guys had back in the day. If you're talking
You don't see the battle for women to this day?
No, not at all. Look at what the
Are
world
you
has
blind
done.
or you
Wait,
just
no, now
or
that's
you choosing
invalidating
not
the
to?
woman, and I'm gonna have to call you on that one,
No,
Mango. I'm sorry.
no. Listen, I'm not invalidating y'all. What I'm trying to say is, what? No, listen.
That was.
Y'all gotta let me finish saying what I'm saying. God damn. You know what I'm saying? So,
I gotta be black and die. That was whack.
damn it. What I'm trying to say is this, right? What I'm trying to say is this. The world has changed for black men and black women. It's very similar to what Boombox said. In your household, black women in general, are validated by their mothers as well. I'm not seeing this downfall and beat up that y'all are talking about. Do I believe?
Well, it's not a beat
We gotta remember, guys, when I talk, I'm not talking as a black woman. I'm not a black woman. I'm a West Indian woman. I'm of East Indian heritage. So in my household,
you sound like Kamala
I don't
Harris.
really exist to my mother. I mean, I love my mother. My mother loves me, but I don't really exist to her. My brothers exist to my mother. My children, my boy children exist to my mother. It is in the Indian culture, the stress is on the men, not the women. In the Asian culture, it's on the men, not on the women. So I'm speaking from my perspective.
So, and I get that because your culture is a lot different.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying too, because I watch a lot of TED Talks. Sorry, Nomi. I watch a lot of TED Talks where other cultures, they say the same thing.
Yeah, I could get that. I could get that. I can only speak for the American culture.
I'm sorry. You had, funny, I'm gonna go back to trigger. You triggered me because let me tell you something.
You didn't let me finish saying what I was saying.
No, it doesn't matter. It was what you said, and it started off in the.
Wait, no, you breaking up. Wait, Noni.
God.
You going in?
Noni.
That's how mad she is. Her internet can't even catch up.
The Wi-Fi.
Her internet can't even catch up too.
Like, Noni, we heard nothing
at all.
Yeah, you kind of you muted out.
You were so mad that the internet
all we saw was
up with you.
It looked good. Noni, you went plátanos and muchachos, and that thing said it was over, girl. That thing said bye.
I don't know why. I do know like North Carolina is having issues with both.
Because Storm Dad, somebody told Big Dad to come do her big one, and I'm like, I don't know who signed up. Like Big Dad is out here trying to do her worst. I ain't signed up for that.
You said something about us that society is better than what it was before. Sorry, as a black woman, we have it even harder than before because you know what? I can't be in a position to where I'm thriving and everything without my Caucasian counterpart want to downplay me because I spoke on something. So we talked about earlier about job insecurities. We talked about, just insecurities in general. So you're jealous because I'm able to be in a certain position and you're not. So I have to downgrade who I am because I can speak better than you. I can do this job better than you. Don't sit back and say we have it better now. No, honestly, as someone who will be 47 years old, I feel as a Black woman, we have it a lot worse than we had it in the 90s.
So you don't sound like most Black women today, where most Black women are out here literally talking about how well they're doing. We own more homes than Black men. We make more money than Black men.
That's not what she's. That's not the comparison, though.
But God, y'all don't even let me finish saying what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is this. It's big.
Who said that?
Yo, what I'm trying to say is this, right? It's not that I feel as if it's all fair across the board. It's not fair for Black men. It's not fair for Black women. What I'm trying to say is that is it right? We're all at the bottom statistically of all those totem poles. Period. No, just stop. We're not competing because I'm not competing with y'all. This is not that topic.
I can do
Jess, you're not listening. You do. Jess, stop it, Jess.
I'd rather be the worm in the dirt. I don't know.
We are not talking about that. It's not about men. It's not about men having it better. I literally was just saying that it is not how it was back in the day. That's all I'm saying. But from Noni's position, she's saying that Black women in particular, have it worse. And then now, if we want to talk about that, all I'm saying to that is it how it was? Are you guys sitting in the house not making no money, shucking and jiving, trying to figure out where you're going to eat at? No.
Shucking and jiving?
No.
Really?
I went old.
Yeah, all the way 70.
That's what we were doing, shucking and or jiving? Like, what?
I always wanted to know what that is. Like, for some reason, I think oysters, like shucking and jiving, like playing around.
It's a saying for like they ain't doing what they supposed to. They out there acting up.
And that's not what's happening right now. For the most part, a lot of y'all are acting up, like Kit just said. But y'all have the freedom to do that. It's choice. You guys can say, I'm going to go left today, and say that, things happen, or you guys can choose, or you could choose to go right today and make a different choice in life. It's not how it was back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s for Black women in particular. Just like it isn't for Black men. Today, statistically, Black men are doing fine. Today, statistically,
I can't hear nothing that you said after you threw some trash on my record. I did not say that, and you was not gonna do that. Okay,
you did say that.
What Kit said. Kit did not say. I can't even hear nothing. After that, all I heard was wah 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 wah. I can't even hear nothing past that. You gonna throw no joke up on my record? I didn't say that. I just want to put that. Look, he need to look in my face. I didn't say that shit. We ain't gonna put that on my face.
You guys are doing better than you was. You guys could make it. I ain't gonna say y'all making it to the White House because I don't want to say that woman's a sister. Sorry, but I'm gonna say
you know what I miss a time when nobody actually told who they voted for, and they shut the hell up and they mind their business and they drink their water. You know what I'm saying? Like the good water too.
This is why we don't do politics. You see what just started? You saw
why we don't do
politics.
politics.
This is why we don't do politics.
No, I'm
take it back, Mingo. Take it back to your team.
I'm trying.
Everywhere you go, everyone is talking about who they. I just remember a time where you would have to literally pry. You would have to pry the information out of
elections.
Everything's out in the open. Everything's out in the open now.
But no, everything is so open now. I'm just talking about, it was a time where the most that you got was, you voted, right? You did go vote. And they'd be like, oh, of course I voted. Okay, great.
Because now our community is telling now
my vice president is better than yours. Like, what?
Now our community is telling us who to vote for. And that's the problem. But this is why I don't touch politics that much, because I know once I start that on this panel, no one's going to be able to hear anything. But neither here nor there.
Take it back.
Yeah, I take it back. My bad.
Thank you.
My bad.
Thank you.
So my point, as I was trying to say, is that we have choice, right? And Noni, back in the day, you could not be the woman that you are today, sitting up on this microphone talking. Sorry, it wasn't happening.
I didn't go back into the 60s. I did say the 90s. I guess you didn't hear me.
It's better than y'all for the 90s. No, your internet was bad. But I'm just saying.
You was so out of pocket,
doing
bro.
all this
I
internet
out of pocket, yo.
Going crazy.
I don't like that y'all be coming for people internets too.
Yo, you look good today, Jess. Your internet is internet.
You do
My
look.
struggle is up and down, so I'm gonna fight for my sister.
All right. Kit got your struggles today too. So fight for her.
We in
I
this
don't know if
together,
you've
kid.
noticed.
We're in this
Okay.
together.
The cocoa is popping on both sides. You know, haters are gonna hate. Right, GMT. Right, GMT.
Yeah. You're right. That's that
Making
edible
sure.
incredible. That's that
Recognize.
edible incredible.
I swear, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. While y'all was
Incredible.
going back and forth, I literally went and cut me like a fourth of a blondie that I made, because I was like, oh boy, I need something to help land these planes we be flying around here.
I'm done.
I like my pilots in the form of food. So like,
So let me ask y'all a question, right? How could we improve these dynamics to help each other not feel insecure depending on the relationships? Because here's my observation of the insecurity part when it comes down to women towards men. A lot of women, I believe, are hypergamous, right? And a lot of women practice hypergamy, meaning that it's either you make what I make or more. And that's what I need in order to feel safe. And I do feel like it's a biological thing, right? I do believe that women have to nest. It's no matter the age, no matter what it is, I believe women have to nest. You have to say, okay, in case something happens to me and biologically I can't work because I got kids, I got something, I need to be able to be home and this man provides. So I do understand, coming from the woman's perspective, why hypergamy is an actual thing. Do you guys understand that? And how do you feel we can improve that if you end up making more money than your man? Let's go around the panel with that. That's you, Noni.
Start.
You want me to start first?
Okay.
I actually am with somebody that makes more money than me, and he actually wants me to shine more than him. That's just in that, like, he's like, yo, I need you to shine, because when you shine, it makes you look great. And I know I'm right there. He's not in the forefront. It's like, I want you to shine. Does that happen all the time? Not necessarily. But when you are with the right person, it does happen that way. Will I end up making more money than him on all the things that I'm doing? Yes. Do I feel safe and secure with him? I do. But I also been in a position where I've taken care of myself. And it wasn't that I didn't need anybody. It just, at the time, like we were talking about earlier, there were things that I personally had to do to make myself feel not only just secure, but worthy, so I can take care of me. And whoever is my partner, it just be added on. And I do believe that nesting is important. I do believe when you have the right partner that you should, whichever one wants to do something first, that the other one is there to take care of everything that needs to be taken care of. Because that's something that we spoke to. Like I said, I'm going back to school to become a sex therapist. I know I won't be able to do all the things that I'm doing now when I do that. So knowing that I have that partner that's like, go ahead, go do it. This is what you need to do. Because it's been in situations where I'm like, I got you. You go do what you need to do. But that's not all dynamics. So I'm speaking on me and then for me in my situation, in my relationship.
Okay. I hate that word partner, but I did drop the link.
Partnership.
Stop it, kid. Stop it. Kid, I did drop the link in the chat. So if someone wants to come up and ask the women on the panel a question, you do not have to be on camera when I put you on screen. But if you are backstage, I will ask you to turn your camera on. That's if I do not know you. If I know you, fine. You can come up and ask the ladies a question.
I mean, if we know you, show your ugly mug. We ain't gonna say nothing.
I guess.
Say
Say, talk to us. What's up?
I would say it's all about communication and working together. I'm married, so with me and my husband, we've been through it all in terms of him making more than me being out of work, him being out of work, me working, I make more than him, and we're both working and vice versa. So I think it really goes back to what Jess was saying earlier, is doing the self work, because we've been through the ebb and flow of you make more than me and I feel insecure about it. And we are able to talk about it, and were able to at the time. Obviously, that was years ago. But I think you have to be honest with your partner and have that communication, and not doing it in a way that's tearing your partner down, or doing, you know, partner, a way that's tearing them down, you know, but just being honest and saying, hey, I feel a way about it. I don't really know what this is that's coming up inside of me, but I do feel a way. Like, can we talk about it and figure it out? So we actually did the work and had that conversation. And even since then, like I said, there's been ebbs and flows. Now we both make enough money to where it's not even an issue one way or another. You know, we're both in a great position, thank God. But you have to be honest with yourself and your partner. That's what I feel.
It's the question that I have though. Why is it that if you are in a secure relationship, that who makes more causes any type, like financially causes any type of security risk in the first place, right? If we're
If it's one unit,
together and
that's
we're
why
supposed to
cut
be,
in. I was gonna say something like that, man. Come on.
it's the cocoa. It was reflecting off the top. It dripped down, girl. It dripped, and I felt it, and I picked it up, and you sprinkle, and I put it out for the people. But I mean, if you really think about it, right? Because okay, so a woman may not necessarily feel insecure if a man makes more than her, but depending on the relationship dynamic, she may feel trapped because he's now her provider. You know what I'm saying? On the flip note of that, you know, men will feel insecure if their woman makes more than them because in their mind, they're not, like you said, GNT earlier, they're not providing. It's making them feel more emasculated because they're not the forefront breadwinner. I pose the question, if we are a unit that moves together, whether we have a head or a tail or a partnership, or however people actually put, you know, their relationship, why is that insecurity even there? Why I shouldn't feel threatened if you make more money than me because you're taking care of.
I think you went out, kid.
That Wi-Fi, it's that Wi-Fi again.
It did it.
Mods, do me a favor, keep a look at the chat. But yeah, your Wi-Fi was Wi-Fi-ing again.
But can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, just because your plane was in the air for too damn long.
Yeah, you kind of hijacked all the stops before you.
Literally.
That's why all the damn time. So y'all mind, first things first, if you drink water and mind your business, Jesus will bless you. I was quiet this whole time, okay? Boo-boo.
Yo, you're something else. All right. Sydney.
Jess.
I think no, Jess. I'm sorry. Jess was next. Sorry about that.
So I just wanted to kind of continue, like a continuation from Sydney, and then Kit brought it down, touch a little bit of what I was about to say, as in to say, if you are in a relationship that's one unit, y'all are working together for the best success. So it should not be anyone tearing anyone down. So just like how they said, bring sexy back, bring empathy back. If you don't want, when you're down for somebody to kick you while you're down there, you don't do that to somebody else. It doesn't matter who it is, what you're making, however, like, come on. I'm talking about basic human character and decency. So then all you have to do is, if y'all going through a rough patch, whoever it is, you got each other's back, you support each other. When you get up there, you're up there. When you up. When it's, when you up, you stop.
And that's that.
All right. Ash, what up?
All right, how we make this thing better? I think the most important thing is in a partnership, relationship, however you want to call it, everybody got each player got to know the goal, and you got to keep revisiting that conversation about the goal, because roles is always going to change, right? But as long as we know what the goal is, it don't matter who making the most money, who playing what part, who staying home with the kids, who doing whatever. As long as we know the end goal and we coming up with a game plan together, right? Because the roles is always going to change, right? For the most part. So long as there's constant communication about what the end goal is.
Right. Boombox, talk to us.
I think what Sid said stood out the most, like doing the work. Ash, you said doing the communication. Those things are definitely important. The main thing though is when you get involved with your mate. I'm gonna say mate. When you get involved with your mate, you gotta ground yourself. You both gotta ground yourself. So getting grounded is like step one. And then you build your foundation based off of how you become grounded in one another, and I think from there, the insecurities won't really be as intense because you have established that groundwork, and that foundation should be solid enough to reassure.
Okay. That's how you land a plane. What up?
Point.
What's the question?
Oh
my God.
He was like, hold up, y'all was talking? What y'all talking
I
about?
was so interested in everybody's stories. I was listening and I forgot the question.
Yeah.
So basically, just trying to figure out how we could, understanding that women's nature is hypergamous, how can we come together more? And I think Sydney gave a very great answer of her specific situation where it was like her 1 minute she made more, the next day her husband made more. So they had that kind of dynamic to where now they're so good financially, So I think that was a great answer, but along those lines.
That's what really stuck me was Sydney's answer, because I really loved, I think I'm guessing her and her partner have been together for a long time. Me and my
partner word.
Yeah, I love it. Me and my partner, we live together, and we're a young couple. And I adore him. I freaking adore him. He's a god. And like I said, I was sick for a bit, and he held us down. He was making more than me, clearly, because I was sick. And then there's times I make more than him. It kind of like fluctuates. It goes up and down, but it comes down to the communication. You had said something, Sydney, that really resonated with me. It's sometimes you get these ick feelings, and these ick feelings don't come from you, but from society, from people out there that look at your relationships. Like, we all know Chill, he's come for me in my relationship plenty of times, calling my man a dusty and this and that and whatever. And it's like when you have outside info, like the pressure, right? But when you're home in your home and it's your safe space and it's like your love haven. So I really appreciate what you said, because it's like a reminder that when you get those icky feelings, to just talk it out and to have that communication and say, I don't know why I feel this way. Could we figure this out together? Because and then, my man, he's so amazing. Like, he's good with communication and figuring things out on the mental. So he'll be like, babe, is this really you? Where is this coming from? And we can talk things out. So I think that your answer was the best so far. And it really comes down to communication and working together in a partnership.
This is crazy.
Why do you hate the word partner?
Yeah, I'm so curious.
Why do you hate that word so much? Like
we don't have that kind of time on the show. We don't have.
I was just asking.
You really want to get into?
We all want to know. We all want to know.
Okay, let's let him answer without judgment.
Oh, y'all gonna judge me, but it's okay. Listen, look.
Just make it quick. I don't want it to go all long. Just make it quick. That's all I'm asking, because you know.
All right. I'm not your partner. I'm your husband. You're my wife, right? I do believe words matter, especially in a marriage. So usually if you want me to be, and I'm not saying you, because not every woman wants their man to be a leader of the household, right? Not every woman is looking for a man to say, here, where's the next step? Where's the next level of life? But if you are, and you say, I want a man that's a leader, a protector, a provider, all the above, right? To call him your partner is almost like a disservice to me. It's almost like, okay, where if you're going to be my partner and somebody breaks into this door, my expectation is for you to be shooting that gun with me. We going at this together. We're treating this as a partnership, other than me protecting you. We're also partners. I plan on you helping me 50% of the time. I don't expect that. I expect my wife, as the leader that I am, is to take care of everything and what we have as different roles of equal importance.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key. We're different, but of equal importance. And I'm speaking biblically, right? So when I speak along the lines of I'm your husband, you're my wife, it's not taken away from you, just like it's not adding more to me. It's of equal importance, but I'm not your partner. Because sometimes what happens with partners, when you use that word a lot, you start to get into a way of, you now treating me as if I'm somebody on the street. You talking down to me as if I'm not the man of the house. As if I'm not the one that you're supposed to be upholding a certain level of respect for, as if I uphold the love that I have for you. So that's why I speak along those lines of partners and all of that stuff.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
I
partner,
wholeheartedly
can
agree.
I, well,
wholeheartedly
partner,
agree.
do I get a chance to answer? Because, I don't know. I'm just checking.
Go ahead, Kit.
Well, for one, apologies, because I was just asking the question. I forgot that we was going in this whole circle. I told you I took a corner of that brownie, and I'm kind of in my place.
Yeah.
But
I see the eyes is kind of low, but the Wi-Fi is so bad.
I'm jealous.
Stop coming up with people Wi-Fi.
First things first,
Can't we end
this
this together?
melanin, the melanin is on pop. I don't even know why he playing. Like you play them games with somebody else, Chad. I ain't even playing. But I personally feel like the way that we get over it and really get to a better place is dealing with all of the things that we keep pushing to the side, that we keep saying that we'll deal with later, that we don't make important, right? Because all of those things are what's making up how we react and how we show up to our relationships, to these situations. And so we're not showing up as our true, complete selves because we're still holding on to things that are trapping us in our past lives. I had actually made a post about that, about how, people will hold on to people from their past because they serve certain purposes for certain situations. But like you're literally addicted to your past. You're literally stuck there because it serves those purposes, and you don't have to go and be your better self to go and pick and do the work in you, which when you do that, you'll realize that what you were holding on to is what was tethering you behind and not allowing you to be your full self anyway. So I feel like when we do the work for ourselves, we can show up for not only ourselves, but our partners and actually move in an authentic space.
You do that on purpose. You do that on purpose. Just read that for me, Jess. We got a 9. Hold on. Before we go, we got a $9.99 super chat from my God. Man. $19.99.
Yep, get that right.
$19.99. I'm sorry, I am tired. I'm off. I've been up since 3:50 this morning. Go ahead, Jess.
All right, says panel. How'd you know the men you were with were insecure? Did they tell you, or were you able to figure it out once the relationships ended? Also, did you figure out he was insecure before or after you were intimate with him? Great question.
Great question. Ladies, answer the question. Let's get into that.
Media man, we ain't asked for your little old funky questions. I got time for you this evening, sir. I said what I said.
Go ahead, Kid. What's up, Kid? You answer the question, Kid. Talk time.
I personally feel like, and this is for most women, that if we knew that they were insecure, they wouldn't have gotten the buns in the first place. So I feel like you wind up learning about the insecurities after. And a lot of the time, sometimes the sexual nature of it is what brings the insecurities out. Because now you done hit him with the Gawk Clap 3000, and he wasn't expecting that that's what was gonna happen. And now he out here like, well, damn, do I buy lunch? Like, what do I do now? Like, he don't even like, now you got him all messed up in the head. So I personally feel like that is, a really big thing. Like, if we knew that they were insecure, because women don't want an insecure man unless we are trying to do, like we were talking about earlier, where we're trying to dangle the carrot of, oh, I got and you need and you can't do without, kind of energy. But women want someone that's going, I don't mean to be quoting, our, new president, almost elect Sexy Red, but when she was saying take them to Pound Town, they not trying to go to Pound Town with nobody that's insecure. Well, I don't like how that man looked at you at dinner. Like, no one wants to give him the buns. No one wants to give insecurity the buns. They're bunless. Okay.
I disagree with that.
They're eating their burgers with
they are bunless.
No,
they're eating their burgers. They're eating their buns with lettuce. Okay, no buns. They're eating their meat with lettuce.
You know why I disagree with that? Because some women do look at insecure. Some women, not all, right? So I guess we can speak for the majority of women. Probably think like y'all, but I do know some women that they feel like an insecure man. That's like, yo, why this dude looking at you? In a way of, oh, he's protecting me. He's making me feel safe. Even though that's the emotional dude that would get knocked upside his head or go to jail in a heartbeat for being so damn soft. But Tia, you are back on the panel.
Welcome.
Your
back.
internet was not interneting as well. Is that what happened?
No, I had to mommy duties. My daughter went to the movies.
Oh, okay.
Understandably so.
Excusable.
Understandably so. Well, welcome back.
I would say FTK, but we love her, so we're gonna say I'm happy she went to the movies.
Yes. I heard everything. I wanted to sit in mostly just to hear everyone's perspective about it. It's been really good so far, and I had some introduction, but I just wanted to hear everybody's introduction too. My introduction was basically on, like, I've been that woman that had that attitude, that had that, you better do this, you better do that. Especially, I could blame it on because I'm from New York, or I could blame it on because I was raised by a single mother. I could blame it on, I'm the oldest of my siblings. I could blame it on the era of when I was born and how I was raised. So accountability has been one of my favorite vocabularies, vocab. And I'm just like, I have been that triggering woman. And it doesn't give that man the right to treat me like that. And I think Kid asked the question, like, how long do you stay in that type of situation? It could be from, many different, situations. Like for me, my government name triggers me. I don't like when people call me by my actual name. I prefer my middle name. That's what you see. Other things that trigger me by my weight, I don't like that. And also me having certain uniqueness about my body that people point out. I'm like, why you got to comment on that? Why you got to say that? So I've been that woman that's been snappy, rolling eyes, belittling. And I had to tell myself, I want to change. It needs to stop. And when you are like that, you do meet people that's not like-minded. You do meet people that's going to trigger you back because that's what you dish out. So I had to sit back and tell myself, is this what my life is going to be? Because it's going to get me in trouble. It's going to get me lack thereof. It's going to give me a poor example that I'm going to give my child. So I said, I got to do this 180, not a 360. And lastly, I think Ubi said it. If I say your name, I'm so sorry. She said,
Uma B.
She said that people start to do things because it's trendy, which is true. When they use, they dimming my light, they doing this, they doing that. I decide to, the healing and the changing, I prefer not to broadcast it. I prefer to show it. Because when it's time for those actions to make action, when people say, hey girl, I'm like, No,
Mm.
not $20.
Okay. Oh yeah. Nah, so Medium Man had a question for the panel. I did want to get more women to kind of go over it. Just so that way we could, have a smaller conversation because I am tired. So I'm gonna end the stream soon. But I would love for another woman to answer.
I want to answer it.
Yeah.
So I'd love to answer it. How do you know the men you were with were insecure? I know the men I am with or have been with have insecurity issues after we got into a relationship, because men typically don't show their full hand when they first start dating a woman. They're gonna guard themselves until they trust a woman. Then they're gonna show the other side, the underbelly, if you will, of themselves. So I've been lucky enough to be in relationships with men where they felt safe with me and safe in my company to show me that other side of themselves. And then therein is where I would see the insecurities. Now there's levels to the insecurities. Of course, there's a lot of insecurity when it comes to financials because I tend to make more than the men that I date. Then there's insecurities about possessions because I tend to have more than the men that I date. But the thing is that, it disappeared again, the question.
I'll put it back up.
Okay. So then, I figured it out during the relationship, but the insecurities don't prevent me from dating him. The insecurities actually make me feel closer to him because I understand what a vulnerable moment that is for a man to show me his insecurities or to talk about his insecurities. And when I get that information, I feel like I have to guard it with my life. Even after we break up, there's a lot of men that I'm still friends with as exes because I will never, ever, ever share the intimate things that they have shared with me. And they know that. So even though they've moved on with their lives or gone on to have other women, sometimes they do reach out to me for advice or just to talk or because they feel like I'm a safe space that they can come to. So, men sharing insecurities is a beautiful thing in a relationship because it shows a woman that they trust you and that they feel safe with you to let you know what it is. And then this is where we have the problems with the fake self-love, self-healing women that I've talked about earlier on this show, that they really got to start getting the real help, because when you're put in a position like that, you're supposed to nurture that and cradle that. But instead you find the dumping or the retaliation, like when you get angry and then you bring it back up in a moment of weakness and whatnot. So that's my
Okay. Any other lady want to answer the question?
Yeah, I agree again with what Uma said. Like a lot of times we kind of make insecurity a negative thing, especially in a relationship. And I think sometimes a more, safe word would be vulnerable, and or uncomfortable. As far as my husband, yes, he has been insecure before, and he's very vocal with his feelings. So, am I froze or?
No, we can see you.
No, you're fine.
Oh, because some of y'all had froze up. I was like,
yeah,
oh shoot.
Yeah, it's not you, girl.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, just being able to express yourself and how you feel. And I think that's a part of, doing the work too. Being able to come to your spouse and say, like, look, I'm feeling this type of way. I don't know if you made me feel this type of way. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but I'm feeling like blah, 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 so yes, to answer me demands, I don't have the questions up, so I can't really remember exactly what he was saying. But yes, I have dealt with insecurities in the relationship. He still got the buns, and everything is okay. It didn't end, and it wasn't something that needed to be figured out once it ended. You should be able to identify. If you're with someone, you should be able to identify if something's off, whether it's towards you or just them in general. Like if that's somebody that you're nesting with or whatever, like again, like I say, grounding is very important when you're trying to date or make something serious. you gotta do the work to ground yourself with that person.
So can I actually touch a little bit on, now not necessarily directly to that, but in a sense of what even Boombox Babe just said and everything. One thing I do know is that everyone has insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has. So it's either usually you will not see the insecurities because it's usually revealed sometimes to people that you trust a little bit more, or it can leak out through other ways, like, just let's say, someone you're talking to is talking to somebody else a little bit too chummy, and then you're reacting to stuff that you felt from before or whatever. So everyone has insecurities. Now it's up to you to understand and recognize if those insecurities are deal breakers or insecurities to work through. But anyone that you're with, they have insecurities of some sort. It can be anything.
Is somebody sleeping? I hear some snoring back there. What is going?
Sorry, y'all.
That's my boy sleeping back there. He tired, man. He tired. Let the man sleep. Yo, hilarious, yo. All right. No, that's real. That's real. That's real, Jess. That's real.
Yes, thank you, Jess.
Anyone else want to answer that question?
I'm gonna take a stab at it real fast. I've been on both sides, actually, just like insecure as far as jealous. I've seen those like early on before we even got into a relationship. But as far as just insecure being vulnerable, like things of their past that may bother them, things like that tend to come out in the relationship from my experience. And then the second part to Meet and Mem's question, it won't disqualify him, but in some instances, yes, that's the reason that I walk away. If it's an insecurity that it's just too much for me to handle. That makes sense.
That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Well, ladies, this has been a good one. I am trying to be like my man Link back there, and I'm trying to go to bed.
Out of here.
Right.
Knocked out.
I've been up since 3:50 in the morning, and I want to respect the ladies' time because I know all of you guys have amazing, fantastic lives in the morning. So, with that being said, I would love to thank everyone that was in the chat today. Thank you so much for joining, staying active in the chat. Thank you so much for all of the super chats. Much appreciated, much appreciated. I definitely respect it. You guys are showing love to this show. This show is growing. We are on, I believe this is episode 15 of Grown Women Talking. So imagine where it would be when we hit episode 50, episode 100. Yo, this is a good thing, yo. This is a good thing. We are on also the road to 50K. So right now, if you are watching on Instagram, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on any of those other platforms, do me a favor, come over on this side and hit subscribe, share the content. Also, I would love for everyone to follow everyone that is currently on this panel. Follow everything that they have going on. If it's Instagram, no matter what it is, please make sure you follow, subscribe, hit the like button on your way out the door. Show some love. Once again, y'all, this is Grown Women Talking, and I will definitely see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Trying to ah.